it's Jess. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to the vlog. This is Booktube Knockout round 5 and today I will be reading like Olivia. If you're new here, if this is the first Booktube Knockout video that you're seeing, this is a little series that I'm doing for fun. I'm definitely not the first person to come up with an idea like this, but this is essentially a series where I read like other book creators. In order to put my own little twist on this type of video, I took 8 booktube creators and I analyzed very scientifically what books they love or what books are integral in some way to the brand that they have created. I ranked them based not on the content that they produce, but how similar I think their taste in books is to my own personal taste in books. And then I put them in a little bracket with number 1 facing off against number 8 and so on and so forth. And I'm running a little tournament to see who will be victorious, who has the taste most similar to my own. So far, I have done 4 episodes of this where I read like 4 different content creators, and those are the content creators that are on the lower half of the bracket, so the least like my own personal taste. Now we have reached Olivia, who is ranked 4. We are now moving into the second half of the bracket. I genuinely think that moving forward in the series that I should fully enjoy every book that I read from here on out. Now, the question is, how much will I enjoy them? I absolutely love Olivia's content. She just has some of the most cozy vlogs that I've ever encountered. It literally does not matter what she puts into it. It's just the vibe, the atmosphere of her vlogs are so cozy. And as somebody who suffers from some mental health issues, sometimes I just really crave content that is cozy. I like that she just sits there and talks to us and makes us feel like we're just hanging out while she does her daily activities. You know, like she specifically has said that like that is the goal of her vlogs, and mission accomplished, absolutely. Like I literally sat there watching her organize her closet and I was like, yes, I'm on board with this. So at this point, I think I would watch Olivia take her garbage out and I would ask for more. Her vlogs really just soothe the brain goblins for me, and I cannot thank her enough for that. Like really, I cannot. In terms of Olivia's taste versus my own, I think that we have a lot of overlap. All of our favorite genres are the same. We like the same things. There's a lot of overlap in authors that we really like. However, Olivia just reads a lot more than I do. Because she's read so much more than I have, her tastes are quite a bit broader than mine, and genuinely, I wish I could read as much as she does. So even though I picked 3 books for this vlog that I am like 99% sure that I will enjoy and I will like them and probably recommend them, I'm just not sure how much I'm going to like them. I don't know if they're going to be like a 3-star, a 4-star, or a 5-star. And so that's why Olivia is sitting at 4 instead of higher up at like number 1. Honestly, you probably don't care about all of that. You just want to know what books I'm going to read. I will be starting off with A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. This is a book that I think is so iconic on Olivia's channel. This is a book that Olivia is is known for loving and recommending. And this is also one of those books that, like, after she read it, it did in fact become part of her personality for a little while. This book is a young adult murder mystery that follows Pip, who is a senior in high school, but 5 years earlier there was a murder of a very popular girl at the high school that Pip now goes to. Everybody in town thought that the girl's boyfriend committed the crime, and then like a few days after she died, the boyfriend killed himself. And so everyone was like, oh, like, he must be guilty. Like, why would he kill himself if he didn't murder this girl? However, the way most murder mysteries go, Pip is convinced that that is not the full story and that there's more going on. So she decides, as part of like her senior capstone project, that she is going to look into this murder and try to figure out, like, was it the boyfriend or was it somebody else? Like, what was overlooked in this case? This is the book that I'm going to be starting with. I think this is going to just be like super fun, very entertaining. I'm hoping this blows me away and I love it, but I think that this is going to be a really, really great book to start a vlog off with. After I finish A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, I will be reading The Last House on Needless Street by Catriona Ward. This is an adult horror novel about a haunted house, and all I really know is that there's a haunted house and a serial killer, and this cat, I believe, is like a major character within the story, which I think is perfect for Olivia, because if you spend any amount of time on Olivia's channel, you know she loves cats. She has a cat named Ginger, who I love seeing B-roll footage of, so I think that works out perfectly. I also think that I owe it to read a horror novel in this vlog, because Olivia is one of the co-creators of the Summer Ween readathon, which is one of my favorite readathons of the entire year. I've done it for multiple years now. I love it. I will continue to do it. It is so much fun, and this was one of Olivia's favorite horror, so this is perfect for this little vlog. And then the last book for this vlog will be this chunky boy, Ordinary Monsters by J.M. Miro. This is one of Olivia's favorite fantasy books, and I don't remember exactly the details about this, but I know it involves sort of a magical school and like kids that have magical powers. It does kind of give a little bit of X-Men vibes, and there's like a shadow man like hunting them down. But not only is this one of Olivia's favorite fantasy books from like the past couple of years, I bought this book because of Olivia. So what better time to read a book that I bought because of Olivia in a vlog where I'm reading like Olivia? It just makes sense. There you go. I'm pretty sure this intro has been way too long, so those are the 3 books that I'll be reading in this vlog, and I will talk to you later. Hi, good morning. I just finished my stream, but I wanted to give an update for the vlog because I just finished A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and this book is so good. This book is one that like truly lives up to the hype for it. I'm so happy I read this book. This book is entertaining and like funny and silly. Now, it's not like funny like haha I'm laughing out loud, but it's like funny I'm smiling. I had such a good time reading this, and also like this book kept me guessing throughout the entire thing. This is one of those mysteries that is just so well crafted that the reader has just enough clues to put together like half of the big picture, but I mean, at least I couldn't put together the whole thing. Caveat to all of this, I don't read very many true like murder mystery novels. Usually I read like a fantasy that has like a murder in it, or I read a thriller with a murder mystery, or I read like a horror that has like some type of murder in it. Most horror has murder. So it definitely could be lack of experience, but I could not put together the full picture of this, and like I loved it. I loved that the reveals had me like gasping and being like, oh my gosh. But at the same time, they felt so earned and they felt so satisfying because you can see all of like the framework and the groundwork that had been laid to like reach this conclusion. So like nothing felt cheap. Afterwards you're just like, thank you for giving me this delicious meal. I don't try to be a reader that like guesses what the plot twist is, but I cannot help myself. I don't want to be this way. I want to just be the reader that's like along for the ride, just enjoying myself, but I cannot help it. I always try to solve the mystery, figure out what the plot twist is gonna be. This is like for every genre. Like this isn't just like a mystery thing for me. Like I'm always guessing what's coming next. I do it in like TV, I do it in video games, like always. I cannot help myself. It is genuinely like a character flaw that I wish I could get rid of, but I can't. I love it when I have half the picture but not the full picture. I love it when a good reveal, a good plot twist just hits me right in the face. And the thing is, like, there's so much going on at the end of the novel that, like, parts of it I did guess, but, like, other parts of it completely nope. Had me absolutely gagged. And like I said, also another point for this book is that it's just so entertaining and so fun, and like it's a good time. It's really a good time. I also loved Pip as the main character. I like that she is not a perfect person. She definitely has her flaws, but she's so intelligent and she's so perceptive, and that's what I really like about her. I mean, does she, do some very stupid teenager shit in here? Yes. Did it bug me? A little bit, yeah. Honestly, there were a couple times where I was like, girl, you better run. You're gonna die. You're doing some dumb shit right now. I still had a blast. I was still so entertained. And I do really genuinely love Pip as a main character. So overall, I'm giving this book 4 stars. I think it's excellent. I definitely recommend it. I do hope to continue the rest of this series. I don't know when I'll have time, but I do hope to continue it because this is so great. Unfortunately for Olivia, because this book is a 4-star, that means that in order for her to tie with Cindy, both of the other books in this vlog have to be 5 stars. I don't know how the horror book is gonna go because horror is like one of the most subjective genres. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I do think that the other 2 books in this vlog have the potential to be 5 stars. So there could be a tiebreaker round to see who moves forward, Cindy or Olivia. I'm gonna be moving on from this to The Last House on Needless Street. So that is what I will be reading next, and I will check in later. Hello, I'm reading on the couch. I'm like halfway through this book and it's going well so far. I am enjoying myself. It is not scary at all for me. It's really hard to judge sometimes how scary a horror novel is because fear is so subjective. And I know like books that have scared me, other people didn't get scared at all. And so I don't know, this isn't scary to me. It could be to other people. Even though I'm not really finding it scary at all, it is interesting. It's intriguing me, but I am starting to see potentially how this is going to end up, and if it ends the way that it could end, I mean, I don't know. I have half of a book for there to be like reveals and twists and turns. But if it ends in this one particular way that the book appears to be setting up at the moment, I'm gonna be so mad. I'm gonna get actually angry if that happens. Same sweater, different day. Okay, we have some good news and some bad news. The good news is this book did not go the way that I thought it was going to go. I was very relieved about that. The bad news is sort of twofold. First of all, I'm sorry for the lack of B-roll footage in this vlog. I got sick this week. I'm doing like okay now. I'm not feeling like 100% better, but I am definitely a lot better. Because I've been sick though, I have really not been doing very much reading this week. I was able to finish The Last House on Needless Street, but I could not start or finish Ordinary Monsters, and I have decided that I actually won't be reading it for this vlog because The Last House on Needless Street is getting 3 stars. While a 3-star rating is by no means bad, in order for Olivia to move on to like the second round of the Booktube Knockout tournament, like in order for her to make it past this first bracket, she needed to beat Cindy, who I did not expect to, but scored a 4.6. I didn't see that coming, and so Olivia's kind of had like the deck stacked against her, and unfortunately, because I'm only giving this 3 stars, which is not a bad rating in the grand scheme of things, it does mean that even if Ordinary Monsters was a 5-star read, even if it was like one of my new favorite books, then Olivia would still only score a 4, which is like great. And it definitely, I think, indicates that her taste is similar to mine. However, it's not enough to beat Cindy. Unfortunately, me being sick this week just ruined everything, screwed up all of my plans. And again, I'm still not feeling 100%. There's no B-roll footage in this vlog because, like, all I did was lay on the couch watching Gilmore Girls and Charmed and like sleeping for, I kid you not, like 15 hours a day. But let's talk about The Last House on Needless Street. I will say that I did think that this was a haunted house story, and in a way it is, but I don't think that I would categorize or like recommend this as a haunted house story. I honestly don't know how I would recommend this book. This is definitely one of those books where I'm like, if you want to read it, go for it, but I don't necessarily want to go out of my way to recommend this book to people. I'm trying intentionally to be vague talking about this book because it is extremely, extremely easy to spoil, in my opinion, what is going on in this horror novel. And so I'm so sorry if this update doesn't make very much sense. My brain is also not at full capacity right now because I'm sick, so like that's another reason this might make 0 sense. What I think it comes down to about my feelings for this book is I just think that there are other books that do this better, so I wouldn't necessarily recommend this book. Off the top of my head, I also like can't really give any examples of a book that does this better, so like I'm sorry, I'm literally useless to you all right now. I think that like what this book is trying to do, I appreciate the attempt that was made, especially when you look at the themes within the novel. I think that This is a very important story to tell, and I do really love the themes. The author mentions in the afterword that like one of the main driving themes and like part of the inspiration for this novel is like survival and how we humans cope with things in order to survive. And I do agree with that. But I don't necessarily think that this story was developed with enough empathy and nuance to really take this story where it needed to go to make it what it needed to be in order for such an important story to be told the way it should be told, and for such an important concept to be respected the way it needs to be respected. And I genuinely think that in this case, what held this story back from being what it needed to be was partially a little bit of stereotypes, and then also partially the fact that the author wanted to be able to pull off believable and satisfying plot twists. It can be very difficult to give away enough that the reader can sense the theme and to build the themes with the nuance and the empathy that they deserve without completely giving away what the plot twist is. In this case, I did see the plot twist coming, but I wasn't like 100% sure about it. It's like one of those things where the closer you get to the end, the more sure you get about it, but you're not really sure up until it does happen. So, I definitely was still guessing to the end. I just think that due to the author holding things back in order to have this reveal at the end of the book, and like also mini reveals, because like there were multiple reveals along the way, I think in order to have these, like, things had to be held back, and it basically just made the themes of the novel like not fully developed. And due to what this book is and the story of survival that it's trying to tell, like, the themes need to be developed. I mean, I did read the afterword by the author, and again, like, I appreciate the attempt that was made. It would also be interesting to see how people that deal with this in real life, how they feel. I think after this vlog, I'm gonna look up and see how people that do deal with this specific situation, if they have read this and how they feel about it. I genuinely don't know if anybody has that specific situation and also has like a public review of this book. I don't know, because again, it is something that, like, if I were dealing with this, I would probably like actively avoid books like this. I mean, honestly though, I do think that, is it Katriana or Katrina? I'm still not sure. I do think the author here, like, their intention was to be very, very respectful and to be very empathetic and to tell a story that, again, I do think is important and I think needs to be told. And I just think that in this specific case, it just wasn't developed enough to really go anywhere. Those are my feelings about this book. I'm so sorry if this doesn't make sense. I'm so sorry if I was too vague to really communicate about this. I just didn't want to spoil this for anybody who does still want to read this book, because like I said, it's 3 stars. Like, go for it if you want to. Unfortunately, this does mean that Olivia is eliminated from the Booktube Knockout. I'm so sorry that this vlog is so anticlimactic and so boring. I hope that you still enjoyed this video. I hope you got something out of my thoughts on these two books, even if half of this is incoherent. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. I promise the next vlog won't suck as much. I don't promise it'll be good, but it'll be better than this. I hope that you stay safe this week. I hope you do something to make yourself a little bit healthier this week, and I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye!